Hello, welcome to Boardgame Basecoats, and today we are unboxing Bullet, and this is the Japanese edition of Bullet. Now, bought it on Amazon for about 40 bucks, and this one was a case where I assumed it was only in English. And actually, if I looked at the picture, it did have this right there very clearly, and if I'd read the description, it very clearly says it is in Japanese. So I was very surprised to get this and to find that it was in Japanese. I don't even think you can get this in any language at this point except for Japanese. So I am glad I have it. It is essentially languageless. So let's go ahead and check this out. First of all, the rulebook. Really got to say, I like the art already. So moving on. Looks like we got a ton of components, but the game has various game modes. All right, so look at this. Just looks crazy. But because of all the modes, like these two pages, we have the boss mode and such. There are just modes I probably will not play and really have no interest in looking at for a good long time. These last few pages are full of flavor, not just for these individual heroines, but for their alternative personalities, their boss sides. And look at that! One of the characters is in a wheelchair. How cool! How cool is that? Way to go, guys. Very nice. Moving on, we've got a setup sheet. Again, depending on your mode, some of these things might change, but I'm not gonna. We're gonna go ahead and just set that aside. Now we've got punch boards, and of course this is always a pleasure for me to see. Obviously got quite a few different kinds of tokens in here, and looks like we got some dead space too. Huh. Well, whenever I see punch boards kind of in an envelope like this, you know, adds a little bit to the anticipation. Very nice, very nice. Do appreciate it. Now because of the variety of tokens here, I will be running through them very quickly. As you can see, we've got lots of Japanese text, but once you know the symbology, you really don't need that text, all right? So it's really not so bad. All right, let's get to it. So these purple ones are what's called team action tiles if you're playing a team mode. The green ones, now those are used in all modes, and those are called the power tiles. There'll be a whole bunch more of those in just a bit. Now we move on to these smaller tokens, and get yourselves ready. So these black lightning bolts are called AP markers. We had a bullseye marker. These colorful tokens are the bullet tokens. These are shield tokens for the bosses with the hearts there. Moving on, we got more crosshair markers. We had the Mariel marker for a certain player. We had the intensity marker, which was that fire thing. And then we wrapped up with more of those shields and AP markers. Whew! Oh my. Anyway, big old sheet here of bullets. Now, if you got I guess this was kickstarted. You could get a deluxe wooden tokens, but I'm going to go ahead and get these coin capsule type things. I used these in another game. The name of it's slipping my mind. It was a fantasy flight game, Hero Quest, I think. And again, you were basically using pogs in combat, and those things would get beaten up, I imagined. So I was really happy to jump online and find a solution to protect them. So it's not my first time using them. So what you have to do is you measure the size of your tokens, and then you order them. And the tokens are laid out in a variety of sizes based on the interior diameter. Now I will tell you, the ones that are not pictured in my little video here were the wrong size. They said they were 25 millimeters. They were not. They were 24. That was extremely annoying. The ones I did picture are on the way, so hopefully these will fit. They are 27. We'll see how it goes. Now, if you notice, these markers, or these tokens rather, range from 1 to 4, all right? And on the other side, it's just blank. It's just blank white. Now, I like my tokens to be double-sided, but here in this game, there actually is a function. Colored tokens can become colorless tokens. Tokens with numbers can become numberless. Now that said, I really feel like on that blank side, they could have done like an outline or something. So you can see each of these tokens has like a, you know, stylized flame. Why not do just the outline of that flame in black and white? I mean, take out the number, you've taken out the color, but at least some kind of life to it. Just plain white. Come on, it just makes it look unfinished. It's terrible. Anyway, as promised, here are a bunch more of these tokens. And these green ones can be purchased between rounds. Each round of the game is about 3 minutes. Well, it's exactly 3 minutes. And I guess the game comes with an official soundtrack. I was hoping to kind of get some of that music and use it here in my video, but it was a process, you know, chatting with a company. And they seem nice enough, but to get permission to use that music just seemed like a huge ordeal. So we'll just stick with some tried and true stuff. Anyway, our last punch board, hate to see wasted space. This is what's called the intensity track. Between rounds, the intensity goes up and more bullets will rain on down. Alright, now here's a packet of boards. These are not thick cardboard, but basically card stock. Alright, so they're okay. Thin, but okay, I'm sure. They're fully functional. First off, here are the action boards. These are set on the right side. You see all those numbers from 7 down to 0. That's the action point track, I guess. On the right side, those squares are powers. Okay. Now, if you notice, there are symbols on all of these powers. This is a difference between this one and at least the American one, because not all of the American powers have symbols. If you check BGG, I've actually translated these symbols into the English, so you can go check that out. Anyway, on the here are the on the left side, you'll be placing your heroine cards. All right, so obviously each of these heroines has a power. So quite a bit of text for some of them, a little bit of text for others. At the bottom, you see some hearts. That's their lives. Okay, most of them have 4 or 3. I think one of them has 2 even. All right, and yeah, they're just thin little cardstock. On the backs are the boss forms. I think that's really cool. So it's a nice little transformation of the character. Extra art, very nice. That said, I probably will not be playing with the boss forms for a while, because there's plenty for me to learn with the regular game. All right. Oop, forgot a character. Nice little cool one here. Ooh, she's a sniper. Nice. All right. Last board. These are what's called the sight boards. These sit in the middle. All right. So here's where the bullets arrive, and then they'll slide down. And if they reach all the way to the bottom, they will then slide over to the left and land on your hearts. Okay. And that's how you die. All right. I got a couple bags here. This is what's called the center bag. Nice and big. Very cool. Even with the coin protectors, I think they'll be fine in there. These are what are called the current bags. I don't know, is that bullet hell terminology? Anyway, each player gets one of these. The size is also okay. Moving on, we've got a very simple insert, and we all know how I handle the inserts. Goodbye. Our final component here would be cards. Now, if you look right here, I printed these from BGG. I'm so sorry, I don't remember your name, fellow. Yeah, let's do a size comparison. So obviously, a little bit smaller. I guess if you printed it on A3 paper, it might be the right size, but I'm okay just using the Japanese components. But it is cool that, the community there helping out other players of different languages on BGG. Yay. So let's go ahead and get these cards open. No pull tab at all, but that's okay. Now this pack of cards basically has 2 kinds of cards. So first off here, we have the pattern cards. All right, so each player has their own deck of pattern cards. This is very asymmetrical, all right? So the number of cards is different. The patterns themselves are different. The powers are different, okay? And here at the back here are the reference cards. So we have the order of play on one side, and on this other side is kind of useless. I feel like they could have, put more symbols on here that might have been helpful, but anyway. So these pattern cards, how they work is, it shows you how to get rid of bullets. So you see the star patterns there? Those are bullets that blow up. But they'll only blow up if you fulfill other patterns. So be a color combination. It could be a number combination. It could just be having a token there. Oh, this character, you have to add up the values. Are you kidding me? So you have to be good at math. And keep in mind, each round is 3 minutes, all right? So obviously this asymmetrical play makes each character, the curve, just a little different for each character. Now some of the characters do have special tokens. There's a Mariel token right here. You see these crosshair tokens. So this is obviously something they can manipulate on the board to do various combinations. So once you learn a character, it really is just variations on a theme. So I think that's really cool. You really can just learn a character, work them really well, and that's kind of nice. All right, let's go ahead and check out the second pack of cards here again. There are 2 kinds of cards. There are some more of the Heroine cards, but the other type of card in here would be the boss, okay, the boss cards. All right, so the boss pattern cards. And again, I really don't know about the bosses. Again, they are asymmetrical, like the number of cards is different, and of course the patterns themselves are different, and each of these bosses has a power that is slightly different, but kind of related to their nice sides, okay, so that's kind of cool. And I really do got to say again, I love the art. And oh, here we go, some the remaining heroines there. All right, great. So very cool. Let's flip these over, and I really like that you can tell the difference. So the heroine cards are all green, the boss ones are all red. So yeah, it's nice. There's enough hints in the game to really help you separate things out and get organized. So very cool. Once you get used to these patterns and the specific symbols for each character, again, it really is not so bad, all right? There is text on the bottom. Now, of course, it isn't Japanese, but again, it's just talking about the symbology that is on the cards. Now here, these are the red cards, so obviously these are the boss cards. And again, I'm not really sure how the bosses work, whether they are an automa or someone can control them or what's happening. But again, just looking at the symbology, it looks very similar to the symbology of the regular players. So I don't think it'll be too crazy to learn. It's interesting though, there is a boss that literally has 1 pattern card. I wonder how that works. So curiosity, things to learn, things to grow with. So that wraps up another board game here. Tons and tons of components. Obviously I was very disappointed that my initial purchase of the coin protectors was completely off. But at some point there'll be other games that may require them. So other ones have been ordered, so fingers crossed that'll work out for us. I will of course be bagging these so that I can toss them to the players and they can get quickly started. Yeah, so I just printed that out just to see, but I really don't need them because the game really is essentially languageless. And you can probably check out all of the helpful files on BGG if you do happen to pick up a language that isn't yours. Thanks a lot. Bye.